Here's the first problem from the exam that we talked about. Number 6, I think? I don't know. Lower one. Alright, and so you were close in this one. Let's see if I can find my pen. Okay, here's my pen. Wee, woo, woo, make a nose. Alright, let's even get nice bright type of pen. Too orange. Okay, and so all I have to do is, for the function in the graph, find the values of f of -2, f of 2, and f of 4. And all I have to do is look at the x values. So here, this is my -2 right here. So I just go down, and I find that point right here. And so the input is -2. What is the output? The output is -2. So that's why the first one is -2, as you and I both agree. For the second one, I look at x equals 2, which I looked at x equals 2, and it's right here. So x equals 2, and then my output is also 2, which so far you still agree. So now here we have f of 4, which means f of 4, I plug 4 in, and my output is 1. And that's it. So that's the first question. Question 2, let me clear off my whiteboard here. I delete all this, I do that. I quickly go to this page over here, where I control print. I do this. You ignore it for a second while I do this. And then I do this. And wow. Okay. And I'll even copy this again. Alright, so here we are solving for an inequality, and this is the inequality we're solving for. I'll see where I put my pencil. This is I use a pencil, but it's black, and it's really hard to see on my black table. Alright, the inequality is 2x squared minus 10x plus 15 is greater than or equal to 3. And so let's try and get this. Here's the first thing I would do is let's get this 3 over here. So I'm going to do minus 3. Minus 3 gives us 2x squared minus 10x plus 12, because that's 10 minus 3, is greater than or equal to 0. Alright, so now this is a 10. Remember that. 10. It's an ugly 10. What I can do now is I can divide everything on the left side by 2. I can divide everything on both sides by 2. So 2x squared divided by 2 gives me x squared, or 1x squared, either way, same thing. Negative 10x divided by 2 gives me negative 5x. 12 plus 12 gives me plus 6. And 0 divided by 2 gives me 0. And so now what I have here is I have x squared minus 5x plus 6 is greater than or equal to 0. And so now if you remember your factoring rules, I have to find something that adds up to be negative 5 and multiplies to be equal to 6. And those two numbers are negative 2 and negative 3. So that gives me x minus 2, x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 0. Alright, so what this tells me, I don't even need to graph things. I could graph it and take a look and, I'd find some points. But what we can do now is if I make an imaginary line, like so, that imaginary line is going to have 2 points on it. It's going to have x equals 2 from this, because x equals 2 will make this equal to 0. And let me change my graph, my lines a little bit. Alright, we'll put it over here. X equals 2, and the other point is going to be x equals 3. Like so. And so now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try out a section. I'm going to try a number that is smaller than 2. I'm going to try a number that is bigger than 3. And I'll try a number in between to see how they work. Alright, so first let's try a number smaller than 0. Sorry, smaller than 2. And I'm going to pick 0 because 0 is really easy. I'm going to see if the statement is true. Alright, so let's see. 0 minus 2 times 0 minus 3 is greater than or equal to 0. Let's see. This is negative 2 times negative 3 gives me positive 6. Is that greater than or equal to 0? Yes, it is. Positive 6 is greater. So this section is good. I'm trying to make a check mark, but my is equal to 0. And so that was my first. That's our first test. That section is good. I like the section where x is less than 2. All right, let's try the next section, where I'm going to choose a number that's larger than 3 over here. I'm going to kind of hop around because getting between 2 and 3 is trickier. And so let's try out a number 4. All right. Okay. So that gives me. I'm gonna kind of do this more mentally. So 4 minus 2 is 2 times 4 minus 3 gives me 1. Is that greater than or equal to 0? Yes, it is. That's 2 times 1 is 2. So this is also good section. Our last section is, let's go in the middle now. The only number I can really pick is, well, I can pick a lot of numbers, but I'm going to pick 2.5 because that is right smack dab in the middle, and it's a nicer number than a lot of the other ones. All right. So what we do, 2.5, 2.5 minus 2.5 minus 2, it gives me 0.5. If I do 2.5 minus 3, that gives me negative 0.5. And is that greater than or equal to 0? Well, I can see right away, this is a positive, this is a negative. That'll give me a negative number. And a negative is smaller than 0, so I'm going to put an x here. And so I can tell you that the part of the solution is that it's either x is less than 2 or equal to, or x is greater than or equal to 3. Because this guy corresponds with this, and this guy corresponds with this. And so that's how you get to this guy right here. So hopefully these all help. I hope you have a great night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Rest of his players, and wow, look at that, his favourite Italian food is pizza. What do you know?
I can't blame him. I agree.
And if yesterday was anything to go by, players and teams who have food facts on their bios have done pretty darn well.
Yeah, maybe it's a secret nod to the true favourite teams are the ones with the food information in their bios, and we'll see if it plays out this time. As Italy do only need to win one game, and Norway have to win this one and the ace match as well. So Digger might have to play again and take it for Norway. But so far, Priest versus Paladin, if they're the decks we are presuming they are, how do you think that plays out?
Well, I got a cheeky look, and I'm pretty sure it is a mid-rangey Paladin of sorts from the Paladin side. I saw Quality and a Primordial Drake in their test game mulligan. But yeah, War Leader gives away that it is going to be something along the lines of what we're seeing as the standard list these days. Early game Murloc board control into just insane late game power with your rewards from Stonehill Defender alongside Spike Ridge Steeds, Tyrians, etc, etc, etc. Priest, still not full information based on what we're seeing here. The Pyromancer is the one nod that is probably isn't Dragon Priest. It's some kind of draw-heavy Lyra Priest or combo Priest. So that means it's probably not just going to be a straight-up value battle. It's actually going to be possibly the Priest playing the aggressor in this matchup. It's a little bit strange to say, particularly if there's a Divine Spirit in a Fire combination in this deck, which there, I'd say usually is, not always. There's a couple of lists that don't play that as a win condition, but if it is in there, it's going to be Priest looking to get the killing done in this matchup, which is not a phrase I've done too often in my multiple years of Hearthstone casting experience.
Yeah, we see the bar for the quiz now means yes, this is just, what looks to be, even with the Ivory Knight here, the atypical, popular Murloc list at the moment.
Did you say atypical?
With the typical.
Okay. I think it's like, you say atypical, like
yeah.
You need to be very careful of saying that, because it means the exact opposite of what you want to say.
A single typical.
Right.
Whatever. Paladin list. And we do see this does look like a combo with Blade Masters. It looks like it is going to be a Divine Spirit. In fact, most likely, because a lot of the times when you don't play the in a fire list, there's no reason to play Blade Master. There are better cards, right?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. And this hand is looking explosive. It is missing one piece of just an absolute massive wombo combo, which is that Northshire Cleric. If he can get all this together, Pyro, proc it once to injure the board, Cleric and Circle to just refresh and draw that into an entirely new hand, that is how you win games with Priest.
Difference between me and you, the one piece I'm thinking about is an Inner Fire, Blade Master on 3, Circle of Healing, Coin Powered Shield, and then settle for an Inner Fire punch in the face.
And then Outdoor Peacekeeper feels bad.
Hey, I'm just saying, look.
Yeah, alright.
Options. But yeah, in general, we were talking about the matchup, is Priest actually just kind of runs out of ways to deal with the sheer value, the late game value alone that Paladin can put out. There is no Entomb anymore, which is one of the key ones to do with Tyrion, especially with cards like Hydrologist, means that Redemption and Getaway Kodo can get even more impact value. Imagine Shadow of Death and Tyrion into Getaway Kodo. Here, have a free Ashbringer.
Yes.
We can play Tyrion again, which is one of the ways as a Paladin you actually win the controlling late game matches.
Yeah, I've seen some Priest lists even that aren't, Humongous Razor Leaf Silence Priest, just teching in copies of Silence effects. Just, a single 0-mana Silence. Sometimes the 5/5, whose name I've forgotten, Cabal Songstealer, is that right? Yeah. Just to deal with those kind of problems, because without Sylvanas available to you now,